efficiently utilized, and it's a natural weed or herbicide. As we provide more calcium and more available phosphorus to these plants, the sugar content goes up even further. Now we get up to 13 or 14 bricks sugar, and something else wonderful happens. This plant has now produced enough sugar to have natural insecticidal resistance. What that means is if you have varmints or critters, billbugs, armyworms, wireworms, cutworms, mole crickets, nematodes, leafhoppers, billbugs, it doesn't matter. The plant feeding insects that we don't enjoy are born and live without a pancreas. In other words, they can't digest high sugar content fiber of 13 or 14 bricks sugar. So if a plant feeding insect does digest this, that high sugar content fiber will ferment, turn to alcohol, and kill them. Nature's own insecticide. So what we find is calcium is the first step to starting the process of healing your lawn, healing your grass, or healing your golf course. Calcium is one of the most abundant nutrients in every living being, and if you haven't replaced that calcium or had an addition of calcium to your soil, we can guarantee you are deficient. And we can guarantee this by saying if you have fungus, algae, mold, weeds, or insect problems, you have a calcium deficiency. Calcium is a mineral that normally migrates down through the soil and needs to be replaced on a regular basis. Other problems we find within the turf industry are excesses or deficiencies, and the excesses that we see are many times salt, sodium, phosphorus, and or potassium. If you have an excess of any of these, it is a strong indicator and a wonderfully strong, loud signal saying you have a calcium deficiency. And so when we look at this, good available calcium will start to balance out the nutrients. And along with that, if your pH is high, if your pH is low, or if you have compaction problems, or if you have different types of root or soil problems, good available calcium is the referee, it's the mediator, and it's the tour guide to all the other things that live in the soil. So looking at the first step to actually correcting the cause of many of these problems is calcium. There are many products that you have heard about or you have probably used that are wonderful reactions to the symptoms. And you have to keep using these to keep reacting to the symptoms. If you truly want to walk away from these problems, calcium is the first step. Calcium will set the environment for the life of the soil. The enzymes, the bacteria, the mycorrhizals, all the wonderful things that are very important and have to be there. If you have imbalances or high salt or sodium, it's an environment that the life of the soil will not enjoy. Step one is calcium. Step two of this process, we'll be talking about the life of the soil and the feeding of the soil and the plant.
Now that you've heard about the benefits of calcium, let's talk to you about some of the benefits of inoculating the soil and feeding the mycorrhizas and the bacteria. One of the biggest problems in the turf industry or all the grass industry has been the soil compaction problems. And if you can create the environment to get rid of the salts, the sodiums, the drops of the magnesiums, the chlorides with the calcium, now we can come back in and start re-inoculating these the soil with some friendly beneficial microbes. And at Nutropathic, we've developed a product called Soil Restore to help that plant build itself an immune system, to hold the calcium in the biological zone, to increase the root masses dramatically to where we can have much better water holding